Hello, I'm Joshua Alger. In this tutorial I will be showing you how to model the human ear with a modeling strategy that I came up with over quite some time. The modeling strategy was developed to give people an easy, fast, effective way for modeling the ear, which can be really hard to model sometimes, and a lot of people will end up with very ugly results. I also have made quite a few ugly ears over the years. In this tutorial, I will not be going over how to attach the ear to the head model that it's being displayed on here, although I will be doing a tutorial on that subject, which will be posted to cgsidekick.com. When modeling any object, it's important to pay attention to the hills and valleys of its surface, because a mesh with good topology will have the edges on the mesh following the high and low points of its surface. In this picture, I have highlighted the valleys and hills of the air's surface, showing the way in which the mesh should flow across it. I then planned out the initial vertex and face placement with Photoshop's line tool. We'll be using this image as a guide for modeling. You can download this image free at cgsidekick.com. Start with a plane and align it with the reference image as I have here. Then start extruding around the outside edge of the air. I'm doing the extrusions using Control left click. Then take the vertices and line them up with the guide that I made. After lining them up with the guide, select the edges that I'm selecting now, and we're going to extrude them outwards, and then we're going to move the vertices so that the faces fill up the places on the reference. We're now going to select them again and extrude once more. After lining them up, we're going to select these 4 verts and fill them with a face. Then we're going to add a loop cut so that we have an edge where the edge is shown in the guide I made. Now fill these 4 verts with a face, and we're going to do so in quite a couple areas. Fill these 4 with a face. We now have the general layout filled, so now fill in the holes. Okay, so select these 4 verts and extrude them going towards the back of the ear. Gonna then scale it in a bit and move it up to about where the hole in an ear would be. We're now going to add a subsurf modifier and click the little triangle with the dots on the corners, setting it to the level of 2. Now we're just going to do a couple tweaks to the vertices that we have here. Give it a little bit more ear shape to it. Select the edges that I'm selecting here, and we're going to extrude them backwards along the y-axis. This will give our air a bit of thickness. We're now going to extrude them again and scale them in. Then select the 4 verts on the front edge of the air lobe and fill them with the face. We're now going to select the entire outside edge and extrude it. These are the vertices that we will be using to attach it to a head model with. I'm now going to move around the vertices that we just extruded out from it so that they taper from the front edge of the air towards the back of the air. Basically, you just need to make them in as straight of a line as possible. After they're fairly pretty straight, we're going to move them back and rotate them a bit so that they stick out further at the back of the air than they do at the front. In fact, at the front edge they shouldn't be sticking back at all, because an air at the front edge smoothly transitions into the side of the head, and at the back the air sticks out a bit. So the vertices should be sloping from the back edge to the front edge. After I've finished getting the vertices at the angle desired, I'm going to select that loop of vertices and scale them out a bit. I'm now going to take the vertices and line them up into a little bit of a more neat shape so that they make a somewhat oval shape going around the air. Don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it. For one, the shape of their layout's going to change when you attach it to the head model that you have. Just making sure all the vertices that we extruded from the air slope nicely, going from the back of the air towards the front edge of the air. Looks pretty good. And we're now going to set the subsurf modifier level to 1 and apply it. This will give us more geometry so that we can more finely tune the air mesh. I'm now going to add another subdivision of surface and set it to 2 and click the triangle with the dots on the corners. Now that we have more geometry from applying the subsurf modifier, we should be able to complete the model simply by pushing and pulling vertices to make the mesh more closely fit the shape of an air. To make a crease in the mesh, pretty much all you have to do is pull two vertices pretty close together, and the mesh will start to crease. Well, the air is now done. At least good enough for this tutorial, that is. You should be able to see by now how the process of air modeling goes without me going into too much further detail tweaking the mesh. Hopefully you have enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully you found it a easy way to model the air. And thank you very much for watching.